Parker Thune on Locked In. Weekday afternoons from 2 to 3, right here on your home for Sooner fans, the Ref Sports Radio Network. You're listening to the home of Sooner fans, KREF, Norman, Oklahoma, and streaming live on the KREF app. The Ref Sports Radio Network.
Looking for your next vehicle? Look no further than Landers Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Norman, where we are driven to serve. At Landers CDJR, we pride ourselves on providing exceptional customer service. Our knowledgeable and friendly sales staff is dedicated to making your car buying experience as smooth and enjoyable as possible. Whether you're looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we've got a wide selection to choose from. With our competitive pricing and flexible financing options, driving away in your dream car has never been easier. Visit us today at Landers Chrysler, Jeep Dodge, and Ram of Norman for our Labor Day sales event. Landers, CDJRNorman.com.
Do you like to stand out in a crowd while wearing the best in OU apparel? The Jimmy Austin Pro Shop carries the best brands you can wear to work or even dress up events. Lines such as Lululemon, Travis Mathew, FootJoy, Greg Norman, Grayson, or Turtleson with the OU and Jimmy Austin logo are sure to catch everyone's eye. You don't have to be a golfer to shop at Jimmy Austin. They also do corporate special orders for you and your company. Call them today, 405-325-6716, or visit theougolfclub.com for more information.
Hey Jeff, have I told you about the nightmare Jessica had at that big city dealership?
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
It was like something out of a bad movie.
Really? What happened?
Well, she found this amazing deal on a Blazer online at one of those dealerships.
Oh yeah, flashy with all the promises.
Exactly. She was so excited, but when she got there, they hit her with the old bait and switch.
I've been hearing that a bunch lately.
They told her the car she wanted wasn't there, but guess what? It was. They just wanted to sell it for more than the online price. Then they tried to push a completely different vehicle.
Well, tell her to just come out here and see us at Knippelmeyer.
That's what I told her. She said she would, and she wouldn't go anywhere else from now on.
At Knippelmeyer, we don't play games. Our prices are up front, no gimmicks, just good honest deals like we've done for over 60 years. So don't make the same mistake Jessica did. For your next vehicle, come see us in Blanchard, give us a call at 405-485-3333, or check us out on the web at knippelmeyer.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Considering refinancing your mortgage? Now might be the perfect time to start planning. With rates on the move, Stride Bank can help you determine if you may be able to lower your monthly payments, shorten your loan term, or tap into your home's equity. Stride's expert mortgage advisors will work with you to tailor a solution that fits your needs. With local roots and national reach, Stride Bank is your go-to partner for all your banking needs. Stride Bank, your trusted financial partner since 1913. Find out more at stridebank.com. Stride Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
It's Bananas, the new Chick-fil-A banana pudding milkshake. Real bananas and vanilla wafer cookie crumbles blended into cold, creamy ice cream desserts. Whether you order in or order delivery, at the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A in Norman, it would be our pleasure to serve you and help with team meals, nugget trays, sandwich trays, mac and cheese, and more. We've got you covered. Call the 12th Avenue Chick-fil-A at 405-310-3189 or use the Chick-fil-A One app. And remember to eat more chicken.
Give hell the bird with Mallard Construction and Roofing. Mallard Construction and Roofing is your full-service residential roofing and restoration company. Family owned and operated, Mallard wants to make a difference in every aspect of the process from bidding to completion of the job. As 2023 Reader's Choice Awards Best Roofer, we have all the tools necessary to make your job successful. Give hell the bird today and call Mallard Construction and Roofing at 405-364-4501 for your free quote.
Also, schedule a roof inspection today with Mallard and enter their Jeep giveaway contest.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wings Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino call-in line at 405-329-9000 Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
I mean, we might as well start with the positive today. We are 3 days, 4 hours, 20 minutes, and 3 seconds away from kickoff. Shout out Gunny, 4 hours, 20 minutes away in 3 days. So here's a positive for you, and the positive that I am going to offer up to you, and do with this what you will. Maybe you don't want to look at this as a positive. Maybe it's a flawed way of thinking about things. But if we can we go back to 1 week ago today? Do you remember the conversation we were having about the point spread between OU and Tulane? I know there's a lot going on in all of our heads right now, but Parker Thune, can you go back 1 week ago today and remember kind of what the storyline was on OU minus 13.5 against the Tulane Green Wave?
Oh, Tulane's covering. No question about it.
Everyone, right? Locally, nationally, OU fans like, this is the freaking lock of the century.
You think that OU team, as bad as they looked against Houston, is going to cover against Tulane, who almost beat Kansas State? No shot.
They may lose. They ain't covering the 13.5. There's no chance of that. And on Friday, 85% of the money was on Tulane. And, well, guess what? OU ended up winning the game by 15 points. And they covered, baby. They covered. So the positive, the good news that I'm going to offer up to you today is that we are in a very similar situation today with the line as we were a week ago. No, OU's not favored this time around. But everyone seems to think nationally that Tennessee is this lock to cover the 7.5, whatever you're getting it at. 90% of the money is currently on Tennessee, and for what it's worth, they tell you to bet the other side on that. So there's the positive that I can offer up to you. 3 days, 4 hours, 18 minutes, and 22 seconds away from kickoff. Thank you, Chick-fil-A countdown clock.
So Oklahoma's covering.
They're covering. It's at least going to be a close game.
Does that mean they win?
Have a chance to win late. I think you take that at this point. Close game, 4 minutes left or so with the chance to win. You take your chances there at home.
What would be the most agonizing way to lose to Josh Heupel?
Boy, that is a great – Nico just throws a wobbling duck down the center of the field for a touchdown, kind of like he threw back in the day, though Nico didn't throw many ducks. The jet sweep. They run the jet sweep quite a bit.
To Brew McCoy.
Oh, yeah. Golly, how old is he? Is Brew McCoy like 30 years old by now?
He's probably older than I am.
Man, still out there playing college football. So there's that. Like, the majority of the money, like 90% of it is on Tennessee. And as we learned last week, when everyone seems to be on one side, it is often very smart to go with the other side. Doesn't mean OU will win, but I think we could be looking at a close football game. And I think we are looking at a close football game with 5 minutes left. I don't think that this is just going to be some blowout where we kick the football, blink, and Tennessee's up 21-0 in this game. I think the OU defense and the OU crowd, and hopefully the OU offense, is going to have a little bit better showing than that. But your midweek feel is you think they're going to win the game, correct?
Yeah, I do. I'm trusting the Sooners to get this one done. I'm trusting another Brent Venables masterclass defensively because have we forgotten the last time Brent Venables went up against Josh Heupel?
Oh, boy.
That was the 2014 Russell Athletic
I have
Bowl.
tried to forget that, actually.
Boy,
yes.
That might have been the single worst game I've ever seen Oklahoma play. And immediately everybody's on the text line going, 49-0. You understood why 49-0 happened, right? There was really no excuse for what happened in the Russell Athletic Bowl.
It's kind of interesting that you say it that way because maybe the decision was going to happen. Like maybe the outcome was happening regardless, but wouldn't it be fair to think at least a little bit that the last
got Heupel fired?
Yeah, I mean, right? The last time they faced off against one another was kind of the final straw. Like, all right, we got to make a change here, even though it's going to be really difficult. Now, OU had what? Trevor Knight going that day. Is that who played quarterback that night, I believe?
As I recall, yes.
Clemson had Cole Stout
playing
quarterback.
That's right.
A little bit different for what Josh Heupel has at quarterback this time around, but he is a first-year starter going into a hostile environment. Make him have an early mistake, man. Make this Tennessee offense have an early mistake. That crowd's going to be insane, and then see how they respond after that for the first time this year because they haven't faced adversity yet so far this season. Make them face adversity and see how they handle it.
Here's what I want, Tyler, and this is very simple. I want the Palace to be louder than I have ever heard it on Saturday night.
I think that's doable.
And it's not only doable, it ought to happen. Because let me tell you, Tyler, the loudest OU football game that I have ever attended, without question, was OU Texas in 2021. It was deafening for virtually the entire fourth quarter of that game, most of the second half, more broadly. And there's, 55,000 Oklahoma fans in the Cotton Bowl? Lord knows there wasn't a whole lot of noise coming from the Texas side.
I feel like the entire state of Oklahoma was on OU's side of the Cotton Bowl.
It was deafening to the point where my ears were ringing for hours after that game ended. If that was possible in that game, in that moment, for 55,000 Oklahoma fans, why shouldn't it be possible for 83,000 strong in your very first SEC game against a national top 10 opponent that's favored by a touchdown plus?
In a 6:30 game, not 11 a.m. game, huh? Where everyone's waking up hungover from the festivities the night before. I mean, you got all day to get ready to go. You know that this is going to be a challenge. Yeah, I agree with you. That's why I've already said this is going to be the loudest. I've already put the expectation there, telling everyone, oh, this is going to be the loudest home game in over a decade, easily. Loudest home game in over a decade. When the intro video hits, when the scene sitter hits, all the pregame pomp and circumstance that always gets people riled up, oh, buddy, it's gonna hit on Saturday nights. And you just wait until kicking for chicken happens during the game. Don't you let kicking for chicken happen, and OU has an early lead in this game. Don't you do it. Oh, everyone will be so riled up.
A 405 listener says, if you listen to the guys on the other station, OU might as well not even show up on Saturday. Yeah, it's not all that
Do they
shocking.
know the players on the team?
Apparently, CBS Sports doesn't. They said this morning that Drake Stoops is currently Oklahoma's leading receiver.
I saw that. And you know what? I tried to cut that clip about 20 minutes ago for the show.
And it was gone?
It was gone. it was gone. I'm like, dang it. I should have gotten it 2 hours or 3 hours ago when I saw it here for the first time. So I missed on that one.
And I'm going to transpose this. There was a really lengthy question posed to us by one of our listeners on the text line, and I'm going to abbreviate it because I think it illustrates a really cool reality and underscores a cool point. Would you rather be down 3 with 2 minutes left with the ball, or up 3 with 2 minutes left and Tennessee has the ball?
Defense, man. Defense.
Exactly.
100%.
Yep.
I don't – maybe last year I got to think a little bit longer on that, because last year they did have the drive, the touchdown drive to go win it with no timeouts. But this year, man, it ain't even a question to me. I don't care what the timeout situation looks like. I don't care who's available offensively. And I'll take that. Like, I would take that result, right? You're telling me I can put the better side of the ball, the best defense in a long time at OU, with a chance to win a home game, and you know the crowd in that moment would be absolutely insane. I'm going with the defense, up 3, and forget about it, man. I will take my chances, and I will live with the results if the defense is on the field. Billy Bowman gets a pick 6. OU wins by 10. That's how that game ends, by the way. Just let everyone know.
A 405 listener says, the guys on the other station said, I never heard of this R. Mason Thomas guy. Where did he come from?
I
SMH.
told you. Jeez. Unbelievable.
And that, folks, is why you are here.
Frisco Sooner guys, I think it's huge if Arnold can hit Burks in stride. To me, that's where he's most dangerous, and I don't think OU has done a good job of that thus far. If you remember back how many balls Hollywood got like that, where he was 3 to force or full speed, I think that is the key with Burks, and I think that's where he is most lethal, even if they are shorter passes to get him the ball in space. Totally agree.
Like that.
No one's catching him if he's in full stride.
No, and he can put some moves on you in the open field too, which, to that point, you get him the ball underneath, running full speed upon obtaining the football, he's going to make something happen more often than not. So, yeah, getting Deion Burks the ball in more creative and more dynamic ways than they have been able to get it to him through the first 3 weeks is going to be huge for this offense.
405, up 3 with the defense is what I would take. I don't trust this offense as far as I can throw them. I thought that was going to say I can't trust this offense as far as they can throw it. I thought that's what that text was going to say. But
it's a brutal roast.
Yeah. 1-star EJ from Louisiana. I need another Danny Stutzman speech like the one versus Texas. It could be an old money-making opportunity for Toucan Dan if he gives another speech and puts it on a T-shirt. That worked out well for him last time, man.
580 listener says, huge OU fan here. What is so special about the other team's coach?
So I've done a few podcasts and radio show appearances today, and they're all asking the same question. What's the feeling in Norman like around Josh Heupel? What do the fans feel about Josh Heupel? How do you guys feel today about Josh Heupel? And my response is, well, you want to beat him this week, obviously, but I still think that there's a lot of love there. And I think the reception that he's going to get is going to be very warm. People cheer for him for the most part. Like, people still love and appreciate Josh Heupel. But then I hear what the text that you guys are reading last hour, and I read some of the things that people are saying on social media. I'm like, that's the case, right? People still like Josh Heupel?
I'll be 100% honest. Obviously, I think people appreciate what Josh Heupel did at Oklahoma. I think they revere him for his legend as a player. But the vast majority of this fan base doesn't really care.
He's the enemy.
He's Tennessee's head coach this week. They do not really care. They're not all that eager to show up to Owen Field and participate in an homage to Josh Heupel. No, they want to beat the tar out of him in Tennessee.
Because this would sting, man, right? I mean, if you lose to the guy that you fired as the offensive coordinator your first SEC game comes back, that won't feel very good. He'll get the last laugh, or at least until you play next year in Knoxville. Not going to be fun. So, yeah, I think everyone does love and appreciate him for what he did, but I am definitely starting to feel, well, he's the opponent this week. He's the enemy. So we'll get back to that at a later point, but right now, we want to beat this dude.
Well, and you got to think about what the discourse will be on the text line come Monday if Tennessee wins. We fired this guy for Muleshoe.
I know. Or we should fire Brent and hire this guy instead. I mean, every combination of that you can think of, that's what's going to happen. Text line's rolling already. 405-651-3439. Keep it going on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Your boy rolled a wagon full of radio equipment about a good half mile through what seemed like the busiest day at the Oklahoma State Fair last night. So
well done. Thank you for your service.
It nearly broke me last night. It was the $4 day, the cheap day at the Oklahoma State Fair. So a lot of people were out at the State Fair yesterday and rolling that wagon through the crowds. Yeah, it nearly broke me, but I'm alive and here today and ready for Saturday. Josh from Moore says, the game Saturday reminds me of the Texas game last year. All week leading up to it, everyone kept talking about how much bigger Texas is than us. How could we block them? Texas was so much more complete than Oklahoma. They talked up that game as it was David versus Goliath. We went in there and punched them in the mouth. That's what we need to do Saturday. We need to go in there and remind Tennessee this is Oklahoma, and we fear nobody. What would be a bigger win for Brent? This one or Texas last year? What would we look at as the bigger win on his resume?
Ask me again at the end of the season, because it kind of depends on how the rest of this season goes. Because at the time, when they beat Texas, there were a lot of major narratives that came out of that game. Dylan Gabriel's a Heisman front runner. Now, this is Oklahoma's statement that they're back under Brent Venables. Then, 2 weeks later, they go on a 2-game losing streak, and a lot of that buzz wore off. A lot of that hype died off. And, yeah, obviously that's a seminal win for Brent Venables over the course of his brief tenure at Oklahoma thus far. But I don't know the answer to that question. Now, the streak on the text line says, we'll go back to love and hype after we kick his tail, except TJ.
Yeah, that's created quite the buzz this week, huh? That's been fascinating.
Boy, they hate TJ.
Good. You know what? It's good that another SEC fan base hates one of our hosts, like Missouri, Mizzou hates both you and I. Because when I go on that SEC podcast with SEC Mike, they always bait me. It's rather easily to bait me to talking smack about Mizzou. It's happened a few times.
That fan base sucks.
Dude, they get at. Oh man, yeah, that fan base does suck. I agree with you.
It is kind of a funny common denominator, though, when you look at years past. Like some of the best football games that I can recall watching Oklahoma play came where their backs were very obviously against the wall, and the country had kind of counted them, well, maybe not counted them out, but were regarding the opposition as superior. For instance, Texas last year certainly comes to mind. The Sugar Bowl, the Trevor Knight game, Ohio State in Columbus. I mean, if you want to go back further,
just hasn't happened very many home games, right?
Because in home games for really my entire lifetime, Tyler, Oklahoma's been favored at home, virtually without exception.
And I guess the 3 times that they have been underdogs at home since the beginning of the Bob Stoops era, they've won 2 of those outrights. Texas A&M they destroyed 51-6, and they beat Nebraska by 17 points. Only game where they were home underdog and they didn't win outright was that Ohio State game in 2016. We'll see how this one goes on Saturday. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. We'll get to those. Get to some OU football recruiting, this OU-Tennessee game. A lot to do on this Wednesday. Keep it locked on the Ref.
What's going on, Sooner fans? This is former Sooner linebacker Caleb King Kelly, and you're listening to The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
Auto Image USA, Central Oklahoma, and Norman's home for the best in car, boat, and RV detailing. Let Mike Miller and his gang help you out with one of their many services, plus roll and lock truck covers, window tinting, custom wheels and rims, detailing, and paint correction. Auto Image USA also carries the best brands in audio such as Kicker, Wet Sound, Pioneer, and Sony. Call Auto Image USA at 405-321-4444 or go by and see one of their experts at 2701 Northwest 36th Avenue in Norman between Rock Creek and Tecumseh.
Hi, I'm Luke Settle, leading a team of dedicated insurance professionals alongside experienced pharmacists here at Sooner Pharmacy in Norman, Oklahoma. Medicare doesn't have to be confusing. We combine pharmaceutical expertise with insurance knowledge to help you navigate the options, find the right fit, and make informed decisions about your health and financial security. Visit makeahealthplan.com or call 405-217-0711. Plan Insurance, your trusted Medicare partner.
This year, we considered hiring an ad agency to help with our marketing.
They pitched impressive visuals and a script that was inspiring.
And exotic animal mascots to help grab your attention.
In the end, we just decided to tell it to you straight. Shelter Insurance has award-winning customer service at affordable rates.
Plus, our local agents are there to help you understand what coverage you need.
For auto, home, life, or business insurance, see Shelter Agent Brian McPherson.
Drive back to school in style with a brand new 2024 Honda Accord LX for just $28,677 with rates as low as 2.9% APR. Plus, enjoy the Honda Service Pass, complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. With advanced tech, great gas mileage, and classic Honda reliability, you can focus on what really matters, getting you where you need to go. Only at Fowler Honda. Stock number H240920. Purchased by 9/3/2024 with approved credit through Honda Financial.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
How about this? We're hanging out with the winningest coach in OU football history, Bob Stoops, Mondays on the T-Row in the Morning Show. It's the Stoops Review with the HBC on the T-Row Show, Mondays from 7:45 to 8:30 with limited commercial interruption. Every Monday, we'll be looking back at Saturday's OU game with a guy who knows what he's looking at. Bob Stoops, the Visor, the HBC on our show every Monday. Check it out.
Signature Custom Pools creates more than just stunning pools. We create unforgettable memories. Our expert team designs unique, luxurious pools tailored to your vision and ensuring exceptional service every step of the way. Dive into elegance and make lasting memories with those you cherish the most. Plan now for next season and call Signature Custom Pools for a free consultation today at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com today.
Needing some electrical upgrades around your house? Don't do it yourself. Instead, trust the experts at Wade Electric. Wade Electric has been family owned and operated for over 50 years and is committed to the highest level of service and safety. Whether it's a remodel or new construction, our qualified installers can help. Service changes, LED lights, security or ambiance lighting, electric car chargers, or backup generators, we do it all. Leave it to the experts at Wade Electric. Call 405-329-1940 to speak with one of our trusted professionals today.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the Ref for the home of Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Parker Thune, and there are spies among us. I can see the spies right now because I have the KREF app map pulled up right now. I see you in Memphis, Tennessee. I see you in Silver Point, Tennessee. I'm on to you in College Grove, Tennessee, Nashville, Knoxville, Cookeville, Tennessee. I see all of you out there via the free KREF app map. Thanks for joining us, by the way. KREF in the App Store. Clearly, you have already done that if you were listening to us in the state of Tennessee. But appreciate the numbers. Thank you, Tennessee Vol fans. KREF in the App Store. It's free. You can listen to us worldwide, even in the state of Tennessee, on your way to get a beat down by Brent Venables.
Whoa.
And just
putting the bulletin board material.
I'm not going to just welcome them with open arms.
You gonna
I'm not going to be Nebraska nice or anything.
You gonna say anything about Josh Heupel's neck while you're at it?
I'm not. Come on, I'm a little bit more classier than that.
Wow. TJ Perry's gonna be disappointed in you.
Ref Army Locator, by the way, brought to you by Affordable Door Company, where they compromise on the price but not on the quality. Visit them online at affordabledoor.net. That's affordabledoor.net. 405-635-9499. Proud garage door sponsor of the Sooners and the Ref. That's Affordable Door Company. What do we know? Anything in the past 24 hours with Floyd Boucard other than he decommitted from OU this week? Is OU still an option for the 4-star defensive lineman?
I do not know definitively just yet. I wouldn't think so. I would think this is a recruitment that probably becomes a little bit of a bag war. I mean, the schools that have been heavily involved since his decommitment include USC, Colorado, Miami. What's the common denominator there, Tyler?
Well, at least Colorado's trying to get money in the Middle East, or at least they tried to get money in the Middle East. I don't know if that worked out or not. Did that happen for them, by the way, or did they just attempt to? One of those coaches?
I don't know. USC might have beat them to it.
Probably. How about that visual? Muleshoe in the Middle East trying to get some NIL money. I'm sure Tattoo Baker will be on that soon. But, yeah, you'll go find another defensive lineman, I would guess, in this 2025 class. And as we talked about yesterday, maybe you go straight to the Hun School in New Jersey to find your latest defensive lineman. Would you say that he's on the short list of most likely candidates to be the next defensive lineman in this class, or at least defensive lineman that they pursue?
I'm sorry, who is this again? Who are you
from the Hun School from New Jersey.
Oh, Cole Breeler.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. Again, my thought is the first guys that you check in with to try and fill Floyd Boucard's vacated spot in this class, you got to check in with Breeler, got to check in with Christian Evans. Maybe you hit up a guy that's committed to Florida and or Florida State right now, like a Kevin Wynn, Joseph Mbacho, because Florida and Florida State, Tyler, you want to talk about programs that are in rough situations right now. You think your life's hard as an Oklahoma fan because 3-0 hasn't been the 3-0 that you expected. Imagine being a Gators fan right now and having a head coach that you know is fired, that everybody knows is fired, but that somehow isn't fired yet. Or a Florida State fan, you're 0-3, coming off 3 consecutive losses to 3 unranked opponents after you started the year in the AP preseason top 10, and you can't clean house and you can't fire your coach because you just extended him for another 8 freaking years this offseason.
By the way, on the Florida front, there's a report out from ESPN, Pete Thamel, that the urgency at Florida in terms of the administration to fire Billy Napier, the urgency from them is, not the same. It does not match the urgency of the Florida fans. So the fans want him gone yesterday. It seems like the leadership at Florida's like, yeah, maybe we're just not so eager to go ahead and fire Billy Napier.
Which,
we'll see what
again,
happens.
Scott Strickland is just not a good athletic director. And administrative issues are really the root of everything that has gone wrong at Florida. It's not a Billy Napier problem. Billy Napier will land on his feet. I don't know where. I don't know if he'll be a head coach or a coordinator.
Back to the Sun Belt for old Billy. Sun Belt Billy.
Billy Napier's a good football coach. Unfortunately, he bought a ticket on the Titanic.
Patrick says Tennessee talking about planting the flag in Norman. Oh, hell no, says Patrick. Where are they saying that at, Patrick? Send us the evidence of that. I would like to put that out to everyone. That's fascinating. 918, Lance says, I'm pretty confident the defense will keep it close. If we get back a couple of offensive linemen who can pass block and create holes for the backs, that alone will be the difference maker. Bring on some Sooner magic. Not just getting one, but two offensive linemen would help out quite a bit. I don't expect to know that definitively tonight. The SEC availability report, isn't that what it's called? Got in trouble for calling it the injury report yesterday.
Which is such BS.
I think it's the availability report.
Yeah, just like it's the 2-minute timeout, huh?
Yeah. Not the 2-minute warning, 2-minute timeout.
I don't know why they care so much about language. We're all going to use what is most natural and most familiar.
So what do we find out by 7 o'clock tonight what the availability report is for OU? It'd be awesome, but I don't expect to see any of those three guys on anything other than questionable.
Yeah,
but
probably
we'll see
be
how
a
they
lot of
handle it.
questionables. And if Muleshoe coached in the SEC, he'd list his entire team as questionable all week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 100%. Patrick sends us there's a station out in Knoxville that I guess maybe they're talking about planting the flag out here in Norman. Okay. All right. Guess we'll see. Jimmy and Edmond, I believe the OU offense will be better if we get the receivers back and some O-line guys. We will be better. But if our defense sets up our offense, we have to score touchdowns to win, which I have a feeling the defense will give the offense layups on Saturday, just how I see it.
Yeah, if you can create a couple layups and take advantage of those layups, that puts you in great position to win the football game. For instance, I think about the very first drive of the Texas game last year where Gentry Williams picks off Quinn Ewers, you punch it in the end zone, you're up 7-0. Now, what you can't have happen is what immediately followed, which was you got a punt blocked in your own end zone that was recovered for a touchdown, and then all of a sudden you're right back to square one. So get momentum and then don't give it back. With the home crowd on your side, if you can just do that, you put yourself in really good position to win the football game.
I'll tell you what would be an awesome opportunity for this team, and I'm willing to give you extra credit. I'm willing to give you an extra week on one of your predictions.
Okay.
All right?
Oh,
one of your
okay,
predictions did not happen. But if Peyton Bowen takes a punt back this week, I'll say, Parker, I knew it all along, buddy. What an excellent prediction that was, that he was going to get it the first 3 weeks of the season. I'm willing to give you a week grace period.
We'll say Temple's a mulligan.
Yeah, Temple's a mulligan.
Because they forced a turnover every single time Temple was on the field, so Peyton Bowen didn't really have a shot.
But here's kind of the point to me. Like, you use the Texas game as an example, and I think that's a pretty good example both ways. Like, you get opportunities early in this game, you have got to take advantage of those, man. You get a turnover in a short field, you've got to turn it into points. And this offense has been excellent. For all the negative things that have happened offensively, this offense has been excellent in the red zone this year. You cannot waste opportunities in a game like this. And you're right, in the Texas game, they got the early pick. They turned it into a touchdown. But when they really had it rolling, you remember that Texas faked that punt. Like, you had a real opportunity to take that game over in the first half, and you weren't able to. You kind of allowed Texas back into the game. Like, you got opportunities to really extend your league. You've got to take every opportunity available against a team like this. Because they're good, man. They're good, and they're coming in with a lot of momentum. Don't waste opportunities, especially early on. KW the 918, since Heupel is an alum and bringing a juggernaut to town, any chance he will just take it easy on OU and run the read option that led to his dismissal? Personally, I think that onside kick stunt up 30 last week was a signal saying, we're coming to kick your you-know-what.
Well, and you heard Josh Pate say it earlier in the day. I think he said this when he was on with Plank, but Hype's out for blood. He won't say it, but he's out for blood. And
I
believe that.
Of course he is.
I believe that. I believe Josh Heupel's going to come in with guns blazing Saturday night. So you got to be ready to counter that and also to prey on that aggression. What I get the sense, I guess what my sense is that Tennessee's going to want to make an early statement and try to take the crowd out of the game.
No doubt.
So, can you counter some of that early aggression, capitalize on a mistake, force a mistake, and then capitalize upon it, and get Tennessee back on their heels a little bit?
For the 214 Tennessee opponents, Chattanooga FCS equals no FBS data. NC State is number 102. Kent State is number 133. Oh, this is total defense. Okay. Saying the opponents that Tennessee has played. NC State, 102 total defense. Kent State, 133 total defense. And then Chattanooga is number 89 and number 133 in another statistical category. He's basically saying it hasn't been tested yet. And that is true. They haven't been tested yet, and certainly they haven't faced a test to this magnitude just yet. And is Josh Heupel coming in here pissed off, ready to run up the score? Absolutely. And I'm sure he's been holding some things back so far this year to really throw out against this OU defense. But as we've talked about multiple times, we're going to see some fronts, we're going to see some personnel groups from OU's defense that we haven't seen all year long. And in that, Parker, like a very underrated aspect of this game, because Josh Heupel's a big-time offensive mind, and we know what Brent Venables is on the defensive side. This is a fascinating chess match between those two guys offensively and defensively. And I'll be interested from both sides what they do that's a little bit different. What wrinkles do they throw out that they haven't shown up to this point this year? Because OU's very capable of doing some really fun defensive alignments, especially up front. And you're gonna need to get to the quarterback. I think we all know that.
Yeah. You will have to get to the quarterback. You will have to generate consistent pressure. And I think that's just kind of an evergreen reality with any young quarterback. A quarterback who has had less of an opportunity throughout his collegiate career to develop the poise under pressure that naturally comes with experience and just being in the fire over and over and over again. So you create pressure on Nico. You keep him under duress. The potential for him to make a mistake increases exponentially. And Tennessee is going to bring pressure on Jackson Arnold. So, again, you just kind of got to be ready to fight fire with fire.
By the way, we know that this is a big recruiting weekend for football.
Yes.
It's not just a big recruiting weekend for football. There is a 5-star making her official visit for women's basketball. Keely Parks from right here in Norman, 2024 Oklahoma Gatorade Player of the Year, 5-star player. This would be a huge get for Jenny Baranczyk and her staff to get a player of this caliber to stay home, top 25 player nationally. Woo, boy, getting Keely Parks in for a weekend like this is a big deal, and it would be nice. It would be huge for a program that already has a lot of momentum to get a player like Keely Parks, because the KREFSports.tv crew cut up some highlights today and sent it to me. She is a baller, man. She can score from anywhere on the floor. She is real, real good.
Is it time to fire Jenny Baranczyk if she doesn't land Keely Parks?
She's on the hot seat. How about that? Won't fire her.
Fair.
We'll just put her on the hot seat.
By the way, great text from 5-star Randy. He said mule shoe is known as camel shoe in the Middle East when he negotiates with the Saudis.
Beautiful visual. Thank you, guys. That's exactly the visual that I need there. I don't know, John and Blanchard. Hopefully she ends up at OU. I think that's the hope right now. This is going to be a big official visit for Keely Parks, and she makes it here. Do we have any early names of like big-time visitors in – because it's mostly going to be 2026 kids, correct, in terms of uncommitted guys?
2026 kids, a lot of big-time 2027 kids. Some of the usual suspects, Mason James is going to visit for this game, who, for my money, is the number one prospect in the state in the class of 2026. A lot of the commits going to be in town. Fasusi, Foje, the like. Peyton Houston, Oklahoma's top target in 2027 at the quarterback spot, is going to be in town. I believe, and I need to triple check this, but Cooper Witten.
I was going to add, yes, yeah, that Witten
makes a lot of sense, right? Dad's alma mater versus the school that gave him his first offer in the University of Oklahoma. Josh from Moore, a couple really good texts here. One from Josh and Moore, one from Lost City Sooner. Lost City Sooner says, I happen to know a guy who's the best in the business at bringing pressure on defense, a BV.
True.
And that is true.
Yep.
Josh from Moore says, coaching angry is like playing angry. Could lead to some mistakes. Let Heupel come in for blood. We need to focus on our own emotions and be ready for a street fight.
This is a heck of a match. That Tennessee offense against Oklahoma defense, that is a big-time matchup. Big-time matchup that I can't wait to watch.
Drew from Flower Mound is being opportunistic on the text line. He says, I want y'all to put a PSA out there. If there are any single good-looking Lady Vols fans out there who need a shoulder to cry on when Tennessee gets curb stomped, I'm here for y'all.
No shame. What is this, Tinder on here or what? It sounds like a Tinder profile or something like that. What's going on here, Drew? But if any ladies out there are interested, we can pass along Drew from Flower Mound's phone number to you if you would like. By the way, are you hungry or are you pretty full? Because I don't know if you saw the text or not, but I got some good news for you if you didn't.
What's the good news?
We got some wings outside during this break. Yep. Thank you to Malin and Corey from Coach's Corner, which has just opened up 1150 West Lindsay Street. They brought by some wings here.
See, I drove by there today, and I kind of made a mental note because it had the big now open sign out front. I was like, I didn't realize they were going to open that quickly. I'll have to go check them out. But
I think they had their grand opening Saturday, maybe this past weekend. But I've been wanting to check it out as well.
They came to us. I love it.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for bringing wings by, and a full review on the wings at Coach's Corner coming up next.
Hopefully it's a positive review.
I'm sure it'll be a positive review.
What
I've seen a lot of happy faces on the sales team out there walking. Everyone looks really happy.
What if they're just terrible?
There may not be any wings by the time we get out there. That's probably the scenario we're dealing with.
What do you say on the radio if you try the wings and they're just terrible? Well, it's definitely an acquired taste. But no, I think it's hard to go wrong with wings.
Yeah, well, we may not even get to try it. How do you talk about wings you didn't even get to try? Bring on the sales staff out here because they're the ones that actually got to eat them? All right, we'll do that. More OU Tennessee, more OU recruiting. Who's the KREF Recruiter of the Month for September? I don't know.
Do we have to name Todd Bates the unrecruiter of the month because OU's in the red with Floyd Picard?
Maybe it's Emmett Jones because he kept Cortez Mills committed. Who knows? All right, one final segment of Locked In coming up next.
Hey, Sooner Nation, Coach Stoops here. You're listening to The Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
When you're sick, you need to be seen by a health professional today, not next week. Norman Regional Urgent Care is here for you from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Open 7 days a week at Porter Health Village in Norman and Monday through Friday in Westmore. Our Goldsby Clinic is opening soon, so we can care for you wherever you are. No appointment needed, just walk right in. Whether it's a sudden illness or a minor injury, Norman Regional Urgent Care is ready to get you back on your feet today, not next week.
The fun never stops at Riverwind.
The hottest entertainment.
And the best rewards program in the metro.
Visit us every Friday in September for a Sunset Showdown.
Play with your wild card to win your share of $80,000.
Your next big win is at Riverwind Casino.
Ever wonder why someone would go to the ends of the earth and leap into the unknown? Maybe a better question is, what are you waiting for? Pacifico is brewed for those who follow their own path. That's living life anchors up.
From the gridiron to the hardwood to the diamond, no one covers the Sooners like we do. If it's Sooner Sports, we have you covered 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is the home of Sooner fans.
Drive back to school in style with a brand new 2024 Honda Accord LX for just $28,677 with rates as low as 2.9% APR. Plus, enjoy the Honda Service Pass, complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. With advanced tech, great gas mileage, and classic Honda reliability, you can focus on what really matters, getting you where you need to go. Only at Fowler Honda. Stock number H240920. Purchased by 9/3/2024 with approved credit through Honda Financial.
Life is full of big moments, and at OU Federal Credit Union, they are happy to help you make those moments happen. Thinking of buying a home? OUFCU offers mortgage loans with competitive rates and flexible terms. If you already own a home, their home equity loans can help you make those much-needed renovations or pay off high-interest debt. But it's not about the loans, it's about the people. Ready to make the next step toward your dreams? Visit OU Federal Credit Union today. Your home sweet loan is just around the corner. Member savings insured up to $250,000 by NCUA.
Once upon a time, our family had trouble with pests around our home. Did you know that stinging insects send tons of people to the hospital? And teeny ticks and mosquitoes can be all around the yard. Their bites can make people and their pets sick. Mice, rats, and roaches need food and water just like us. You do not want them to visit. They can spread disease and make it hard to breathe. I'm sure glad this story has a happy ending.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Farmers and builders, listen up. Purple Wave Auction is shaking up equipment sales. We're the no-reserve online auction powerhouse where every bid could be a win. From combines to cranes, tractors to excavators, if it has wheels or tracks, we've got it at purplewave.com. Purple Wave is your ticket to upgrade your operation. Join our nationwide buying community today and see why no reserve means maximum opportunity.
They say if you don't like the weather in Oklahoma, wait 5 minutes and check it again. Nope, not there yet. Ah, that's more like it. Being comfortable is important, and if it's -5 degrees or 100 degrees, Norman Air has you covered. Our impeccable quality and unbeatable service is what sets us apart from our competitors. It's just part of our mission to keep Oklahoma comfortable. Visit normanair.com for all your heating, air, plumbing, and electrical needs. Norman Air, service to the max.
Dorsey Jones Buick GMC in El Reno, bringing this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones is family owned and operated, established in 2020, but many of their employees have been there for more than 20 years. They sell Buicks and GMCs, which are some of the best trucks and SUVs on the road. That's Dorsey Jones Buick GMC in El Reno. Those wings were good, man.
Those were good wings.
I'm not even
For
just
real.
saying that. Like those were good. Very, very nice.
I will be returning to Coach's Corner. That's for certain.
Not only were the wings good, I'm very proud of myself. I do not have barbecue sauce on my Van Hoos fence polo. I
Well
know, much like everyone's taking Tennessee for an easy win and an easy cover, a lot of people said, oh, that idiot's going to have barbecue sauce all over his Van Hoos fence polo when he comes back in studio. Nip. Upset. I don't have that. So appreciate Corey and Malin over there at Coach's Corner. 1150 West Lindsay Street for hooking us up with some fantastic wings. They had the flats, the traditional bone-in wings, and the boneless wings as well. I like the flats, personally, myself. What did you go, just the traditional bone-in wings?
Yeah.
I guess
Drums.
Drums?
Yeah, I went with the drums. I'm more of a drums guy. I'll eat either one, but my preference is drums.
Okay, Cherokee Sooner on the YouTube chat. KREF Sports, go subscribe to us there, says OU wins 30-21 on 10 field goals from Tyler Keltner.
In how many attempts?
Well, I don't know how many drives you got, like 12, like 10 of 12? He still may be the Lou Groza front runner if they win 30-21 on 10 field goals. That'd be sweet.
Oh, okay, here's an interesting question. If you got a field goal on every single offensive possession, do you think you could actually win the football game?
I don't know how many drives OU has been averaging this year.
Generally, most games, it's somewhere between 9 and 12.
Yeah. Let's say 10. 10 gets you 30. I think OU can win scoring 30 points.
All right, folks. We now know the
30-28.
path to victory. Just turn every single drive into a field goal.
I mean, it would be a heck of a storyline if that was the case. Tyler Keltner. We wouldn't be tearing down the field goal post. We would be carrying Tyler Keltner off the field, taking him to Campus Corner. Two-star Lost City Sooner says, just because you ate them shirtless and put the shirt back on. I thought the stream was off. I thought Hattie turned the stream off during the break. I didn't know that we showed that.
Tyler playing chess.
Unbelievable. PA Boomer Sooner. Barbecue sauce, pansy. That's weak. Where's the Reaper? We can only eat what is provided to us, okay?
I will not be eating Carolina Reaper sauce ever.
It's
some people can handle that stuff. I am not one of them.
Tommy says, wait, I need to win a day in the studios when they have wings. Yeah, no kidding. Lou Becker is mostly sending in stuff on the YouTube chat that I don't know if I can read.
Really? Tawdry?
Tyler Keltner
Tawdry
up
stuff?
in her is one that I can read. So shout out to Lou who's in the chat right now. How do we feel about Cortez Mills? Is this one of those situations where they feel like they need to get him back on campus to make sure that he's all in? Or I guess how is OU operating at this point with Cortez Mills?
I mean, he says he's locked in. You got to take him at his word, right? Now, whether indeed he is locked in, actions will speak louder than words through the final 3 months of the recruiting cycle up until National Signing Day. If he goes and takes another visit at some point, be it to Miami or to LSU or wherever, Tyler, that pretty much tells you all you need to know, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, so
and I think like he opened the door with that Nebraska visit. I don't have 100% confidence that Cortez Mills signs with Oklahoma. I don't know how you can after he took that Nebraska visit. But it's at least good to know that he's not planning on going anywhere else. He's not planning on decommitting. He's not planning on reopening his recruitment for the time being.
Yeah, it would just be a tough spot for OU, and not that they need a fifth wide receiver. I mean, but he's really good. You take him. Hopefully we're not talking about a situation in November all of a sudden where, oh, by the way, I think I am going to go elsewhere and decommits that close to signing day. But do I think Emmett Jones could still get a fifth wide receiver that's really good in this class, even if that does happen? Yeah, that would probably be the case. Odds to be the next Florida Gators head coach via betonline.ag. Jamie Chadwell is the favorite at plus 400.
I get why Jamie Chadwell would be the favorite, because they're trying to get the public to bet money on a guy that very obviously is not going to be the next head coach at the University of Florida. But even so, and by the way, I did see 18-1 odds for Brent Venables, by the way.
Yeah.
I think he's maybe like 9th or 10th on that list.
He and Lance Leipold had the same odds.
Who on earth thinks that Florida is going to hire Billy Napier just to go grab another G5 coach? That's not happening. Florida's going to make a splashy hire. I don't know who it'll be. I feel strongly that it'll be Lane Kiffin. But if it's not Lane Kiffin, trust me, Florida ain't grabbing Jamie Chadwell. They ain't going and grabbing the flavor of the month from the group of 5. That will not happen.
Lane Kiffin, next best odds at plus 500. I would think that that's their top target. I think that's what everyone believes at this point. Dion at plus 600. Prime to Gainesville. It'd be entertaining if nothing else.
Boy, that would complete the villain arc, wouldn't it?
How about this one? With the 4th highest odds, how hard would you laugh if he left Mizzou and Eli Dorkowitz is the next head coach of the Florida Gators? He's got plus 700 odds.
I would actually hate that.
He fits that fan base.
I want Drinkwitz to be a Mizzou lifer. It fits. It does.
Brent Keys on the list next. Brian Schottenheimer, Glenn Schumann, Chris Kleiman, Matt Rule, and then Josh Heupel and Brent Venables are also. Brent Venables ain't leaving Oklahoma to go to Florida. That's not happening. Mark Stoops is there. Lance Leipold, Shane Beamer, and some other interesting odds. Brian Kelly is at plus 4,000. Urban Meyer at plus 6,600. He says that ship has sailed. He's not going back there. Nick Saban at plus 15,000. You can get Steve Spurrier as well at plus 25,000. They're going hard after Lane Kiffin.
Is Spurrier still coaching? I know he was not long ago in one of those, I can't remember whether it was the USFL or the XFL or the AAF. He was coaching in one of those alternative pro leagues not too long ago.
I don't think he is anymore. I know he's on like some radio show maybe once a week in Florida somewhere. I don't know which station, but I do not believe that he is coaching anywhere right now. But we need him back on the sidelines somewhere. Patrick, very nice text. Did you change the name to Locked Up in honor of Diddy? We will recognize that comment on the YouTube chat. Very, very nice there. Who's OU's best option at running back? Because Brent did say on the SEC teleconference today that they're going to need all 3, but realistically going into this game, who's their best option at this point?
Well, I guess.
And are you willing to entertain Gavin Sawchuk in that discussion?
That would be an interesting question to ask the text line. What is the best case scenario? Because Brent said earlier today in his teleconference that you'd like to see one of those three backs emerge as, quote-unquote, the guy.
Mm-hmm.
What is the best-case scenario as to who emerges as, quote-unquote, the guy? Is that Gavin Sawchuk for you? Is it Taylor Tatum? Is it Javonte Barnes? I think, to me, the best-case scenario is that it's Javonte Barnes.
Okay.
Because what that reinforces is that he is back to full health. He is the same guy that he was in 2022, and the 2023 season was an aberration. But I guess the other reason why I lean Barnes, as if you're talking best case scenario, is that you know what Gavin Sawchuk is. You know what Taylor Tatum is going to be. And so if Barnes is the guy that is heading up the committee, then I think top to bottom, that is the strongest play that you could possibly hope for from your backfield. Now, the more likely scenario right now, in my mind, is frankly that Taylor Tatum continues to seize that crown. And we've seen him take steps in that direction. I think it's become very clear that Taylor Tatum right now just has a little bit of extra juice that Sawchuk and Barnes don't. And, yeah, he's got to get better as a blocker. I think we all understand that. But we're just talking what they bring to the offense, not just as a rusher, but as a pass catcher. And if we're talking about the highest individual ceiling, not for that backfield as a position group, but for the offense as a collective of 11 individuals, Taylor Tatum at the top of his game might give you the highest ceiling cast of 11.
Yeah, but I would tend to agree with Barnes, and I hope that it's Barnes for one reason that has nothing to do with carrying the football. Is if Taylor Tatum evolves as the dude within your offense, I don't think it's necessary. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing if that happens with a true freshman. But at the same time, he's not great in pass protection right now, you know? So with Javonte Barnes, if he emerges as your number one back, you kind of get the best worlds of what you have right now. He's your dude that gets you the tough yardage and maybe the big plays, but you also probably trust him the most in terms of pass protection right now. And with these defensive ends that we're going to see, these edge rushers that we're going to see, including this weekend, I would much rather have Javonte Barnes back there consistently than Taylor Tatum back there consistently trying to help out Jackson Arnold. So for that reason, I would actually agree with Barnes.
You know, it's funny. There's a lot of conversation on the text line. There are a lot of votes for Barnes. There are a lot of votes for Tatum. I haven't seen a single vote for Gavin Sawchuk.
That's I think where most people are at.
I know nothing about the Oklahoma backfield anymore because I thought Gavin Sawchuk was going to have a renaissance season after what we saw down the stretch from him in 2023. I thought he was going to have a first-team All-SEC type of season. Now, through 3 games, he has 16 carries for 35 yards, and people want him to be RB3.
Well, and, I mean, they still, like, at least going into last week, they hadn't given up on him. He got the start last week, but late in the game, was he pretty non-existent within the offense? I'm very interested to see how they dole out the reps this week. And not even necessarily who starts, but when the game is at its most crucial point, who's in the game then for OU?
Well, and you can't give up on a guy like Sawchuk this early on because it's not as if he pulled a Marcus Major on us and had one awesome game where he carried the ball like 6 times for 125 yards and then regressed to the mean. Gavin Sawchuk had 5 consecutive 100-yard performances last year. So you've seen what he's like at the top of his game, and you have enough of a sample size to understand that it wasn't just a flash in the pan. It kind of just adds to the mystery of what's going on with him right now and why he can't seem to really kick it into gear.
I want to read this one by Sooner Juts because we celebrate wins around here. Sooner Juts says, Sooner Nation and the Ref Army has grown by 1. Mrs. Juts and I welcomed a grandson into the world late last night. If I have anything to say about it, he'll wear nothing but crimson and cream, and his first word will be Boomer. I'll also be eagerly awaiting his scholarship offer. Now let's beat the hell out of Tennessee. Boomer Sooner, everybody. Congratulations, Sooner Jets. That's awesome. Incredible moment in your life and in your family's life. So really happy to hear that news. And thank you that we are so special that you were willing to offer up that news and share that news with us. Means a lot. Really appreciate that. Yeah, the running back situation is a fascinating one, and hopefully you find your guy or your 2 guys that you feel most comfortable with moving forward coming out of this game. Because guess what? They're going to need some sort of a running game on Saturday against Tennessee. Jackson Arnold will be involved in the run game. It cannot all be Jackson Arnold. One of those running backs at least is really going to have to step up and have a nice game. All right, the Rush is coming up next. Toby Rowland joins me for the